Well, dang, just when you think you're going to get a little peace in your life, you got some stuff settled and it just comes back to bite you in the butt or slap you in the face, and that's what happened today. Uh, there'd be very few you're going to listen to this about Stillwater Cowboy Church there in Fruita, Colorado, and what happened on with the arena, but it's on this channel, and if you're watching it, you can see I've got a couple hours there that explains just about in detail pretty much everything that went on, and I thought I'd addressed it. Thought I'd come to peace with it, and I thought I was done with it, and the other day, I don't know why it comes like it does, but the other day I got a text message from a friend that was an ex-church member now uh, that was building an arena and wanted to have rope and steers. And it was just earlier that week that another gentleman asked me about rope and steers because he wanted to get some for his arena. And they wanted to start roping. And the neighbors over here, they've asked me for steers, and they used to go to the church, and they don't either anymore. And then another gentleman down in Grand Junction was asking advice about building an arena because he goes to the Stillwater Church, and he says he's just totally disgusted and done with them. So he's going to build his own arena. And there's like 4 or 5 people that were members of that church that were so upset about what happened and how it was done and the lies that are being told. They want nothing to do with the church anymore, and they're putting in their own arena, And then I saw actually one of them sent me. It wasn't the link. I guess it was the flyer about Nelly asking about anybody that had a roping dummy because they were going to start doing roping practice there, maybe during open riding or one time a week or something like that. And they thought, my word, Bruce, do you understand what that means? And I said, yeah, they have absolutely not a clue about what happens. And it's comical, I guess, if you want to keep light-minded about it, because you don't just go out there and pull a dummy and think that that's going to be all fun and a great time for everybody, because it's not. It's practice, and to have practice, you need to have somebody that knows a little something about roping and having, coaching and keeping people in position, helping them with the swing of the rope. That's what the practice is about. It's not just going out there and pulling a dummy. And I supplied mine for, I guess, about 3 years, but now they're looking for one. And anyway, I thought that was they thought it was interesting. And then I got the phone call today, and they were talking about this other gentleman. This is third hand, I guess, because this guy was telling me he just got done talking to a friend, the one that was at church, building his own arena now in Grand Junction. And the reason was because they just tired of what was happening at Stillwater and the activities. And then he told me that they have planned, they're going to have jackpots once a month now. And I don't know how that's going to happen or who's going to endorse that or support it, because they burned so many people at the church. They've got other places to go rope and other jackpots to do. And the only place they can get cattle is from Nelly's friend down there in Clifton. And he'll know how to put on a jackpot and would bring cattle, and I'm sure that would work, and the fees and stuff, and it'd just be interesting to see how many show up and exactly how that all works out. And who knows, they may be able to do it, but they could have done it with the cattle they had that they sold. That's the point I'm getting to. This gentleman said he just got done talking. I think he said yesterday to Nelly for some reason about the church arena, or maybe it was this last Sunday or something, could have been. But anyway, she informed him that the reason they didn't have any cattle there and wasn't doing that roping practice anymore was because the church lost $40,000 doing that. And the gentleman called me and told me that. He says, that's the most absurd and laughable thing he'd ever heard. And he said, I just thought I'd call you and let you know because I thought you'd probably get a chuckle out of that. And it's like, if it wasn't so absurd, it would be funny because it couldn't happen. Now, maybe Nellie will see this and say, I never said that. Well, okay. Then I guess it'll be your word against somebody else's and whatnot. But your word has not been proven very good. Just like when you left that message on Facebook that, you really disliked me. And then within about 5 minutes took it down so nobody else could see it after I replied to you. And then tried to cover up your doings with an email or message, and it's all documented. It's all in those videos that I made. But it's just I don't understand how a church can condone that, or a church leadership can condone that. The board members, they absolutely blind. What in the world is going on down there? There has been well, of course I'm banned. They don't get notice. I can't go to any meeting, business meeting or anything that they have where they're, the memberships are there and they explain the budgets or what happened this year with their finances and whatnot. I don't get to participate in that anymore. And they banned me from anything on the church arena site and stuff like that. And I think that's really petty, but I also think it's very telling about the mentality of who's controlling this deal. And anyway, when the guy told me that $40,000, he says, Bruce, he says, my word, at the most I had 36 head of cattle there. I said, yeah, I know. And he said, and I remember what you told me, what you bought them for. I mean, some, there was like 12 of them for $600, and then there was another 20 whatnot at about 700, a little over 700. I said, yeah. And he says, even if they were all $700 a piece, and there was 36 of them, he says, let's see, that's 7, 14, 21, that's 27, I guess. So if there was 27 of them, the 36 head of cattle would be worth about $2,700 is his point. And I said, that's right. He says, how could they lose $40,000? Did they all die? No, they sold, they put it on their site or whatever. They sold 30, I think it was 34 head for $800 or something like that. So it's really tough to find out where in the world they could have lost $40,000 on that program. And it's like most of the hay was donated or at a reduced cost for the church, So I know I don't know what their hay bill was. They never disclosed that. I don't know if they ever had it at an open meeting for the membership or not. But you can't, you can't feed that much hay. They agreed. They got some tubs every now and then, some protein tubs, and there were some cattle there that they just didn't take care of, and I separated them off and put them in separate pens, and we put protein blocks in there, and we're supposed to be fed more and whatnot, but they didn't grow. But anyway, that's beside the point, and that's all said earlier anyway. But I just found it, and I text. I was so upset after that. I text the pastor and whatnot, and Nellie had copied him on the same message, and just told him how disgusting I thought that really was, and how in the world could you say that, and why, and I mean, are they implying that that I somehow took advantage. I mean, because I admit I was I got the cattle and was trying to uh, orchestrate the roping practice and whatnot. I never collected a dime in that first year. Uh, they were all my cattle. I hauled them. I made 4 trips a day just to have practice, and they never paid a dime to me for that. Some people there roping wanted to donate to me for hay for my steers, and I said no, just give it to the church. So even in that first year, they were donating to the church when the church had no expense in those cattle at all. In the second 2 years, what happened to those donations? And the arena lighting project and the people that donated, I've had, yeah, dang it. Now, I mean, I did document it. Now I don't want to because it's just disgusting to me. But people were asking and said, my business donated a lot of money to the lighting fund, that you spoke about, and whatever happened to that? And I said, I apologize. And that's all I could do. And that's what upset me so much about the way it happened. And I told the board that. I told Chris that. And I told them all I thought that was terrible, that they ought to give their money back. And they said, let them come to me and I'll give their money back. Well, that was not my job. And I don't think it's the job of the other people to try and collect their money back from the church project that they donated to that never came about. They should have had a record of that, and they should have just returned it, but they didn't. Anyway, this is my rant, and I hope I'm done with that whole deal now. Everybody's building arenas, everybody's buying cattle, getting ready for spring, and rope and practice, and there's lots of places to go. And Stillwater Cowboy Church and that arena just really screwed a lot of people and missed a great opportunity for a ministry there, because there was a good thing going, and they effectively killed it, and that's sad. So anyway, sorry.